Welcome to a special episode of Cinephile Rehab Podcast. Today we're going to be talking with Adam Simon, who is a Los Angeles-born screenwriter, producer, and actor in television and film. He is actually a good friend of mine. I've known him for a little over 9 years. I met him at a Comic-Con in Nashville. He was promoting an artist, and I've kind of kept in touch with him, and he's an amazing person.
You're looking at
beautiful guy.
You're looking at flu Adam post baby diaper change. Emergency baby diaper change. Which takes precedence over everything. I do, like kids. We should just start recording. Are you guys recording already?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yep, we're rolling.
Just cut off like the beginning where I was 30 minutes late. Just get rid of that. The thing I love about kids that you forget, and Julia knows this like really well. And like you have a kid, because I got two others that are grown, right? And you forget this part, like this initial phase, because it goes like so quick. Right. It's like after the first year, that's a completely different human. Then year two, completely different human. And it's evolution. So you forget that like the first year, baby don't care. Baby don't care about your plans. Baby's like, oh, you got a business meeting? That's it. Like, you got a Zoom? That's it. Thank you so much.
What are you doing in Thailand?
I live here.
You live in Thailand now?
Yeah, I've been living here for almost a year.
Really?
Yeah. Before that, I was living in Brazil, my fiance is freaking incredible and amazing. I just met this amazing woman who just came into my life like what's a good, there's nothing that really compares to her. What can I say? She's like Jessica Chastain in Zero Dark 30.
Yes.
Yeah. She just kind of came into my life and was like, hey, you come here. So we don't talk a lot about, each other. And it's more out of respecting certain things as being sacred as opposed to being secret, which is a very different thing. I've been in relationships in the past where like things were secret and then come to find out it's like, oh, we're secret because I'm a secret or you're keeping secrets or whatever that is. But this is like, this is special. And, she really did. She showed up and I remember the first kind of little bit that we were talking. I just said, I'm not interested in any relationship. I'm not even interested in dating, and that's just not going to happen. And but it's nice to meet you. We could be friends or whatever. And she's like, this is what's going to happen. We're going to date. And you're going to take me out to dinner, and that's happening, this evening. That's going down. And I was like, oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. That sounds awesome. Okay. Yeah, sure. What was I thinking? I don't know what I was thinking. And so ever since then, it's just been yes. So sorry for the long-winded answer. We went right kind of, when after COVID kind of hit and everything else, we, just kind of took a look at the landscape of what was happening in LA, what was happening in the US. And, I know all the Joe Roganites and everybody else is like, come to Texas, it's the last bastion of freedom. And I was like, nah, the United States is just like any other empire and it's at the end of its run. So I'm going to bounce.
Yeah.
And that end of run might be 50 years, it might be, longer than that. But there's going to be a lot of shit going wrong between now and that moment, whenever that moment is. And I just don't want to stick around for it. Plus, the idea of living in California and, spending $4K on a 2-bedroom apartment that's right in the middle of a homeless encampment, having been homeless myself is not something that I was willing to stomach. And seeing, landlords just jacking up prices, taxing you to death, spending billions of dollars on a problem that never goes away because people are just using it as tax write-off. So I'm like, fuck this place. So we bounced and we went to Brazil first. And then, I remember the conversation. I looked at her and I go, have you ever felt at home anywhere? Because she's an entrepreneur and has traveled the world. I mean, she's done everything. She's done managed campaigns for Ferrari and Lamborghini and you name it, and lived all around the world. And she goes, not really. She's from Brazil, so she's like, Brazil's my home, my birthplace. So we started there and then just did this world tour. We went around, we stayed in Malta for a while. We stayed in Greece for a while. We stayed in Israel for a while. Where else? We went to Spain for a while. We were really thinking Spain was the place. And then she goes, I lived in Thailand and I really loved it there. And I was like, well, let's check it out. And then we came out here and I'm like, dude, this is the place. And I think it's because the vibe is so different. Like it's predominantly, Hindi, Buddhist. There's a lot of that influence. And so, when people meet you, it's like, Sawadee Ka, and everybody's genuinely happy. It's not a put on. And that's weird. Because, people would walk up to our baby and be like, oh my God, your baby's so cute. And I'd be like, get your fucking hands off my kid, and they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, what is wrong with me? So I love it here. I love it here. I love the people here. I love working here. And, while everybody was striking and only striking to not get what they were striking for, if I'm being honest, and crews are shutting down, guys are committing suicide. People are not able to, people that work on crews, let me be clear, like production staff are waiting for the actors to sort this out. And meanwhile, really taking the brunt of not being able to work. I was like, fuck this, man. And so I just went around and I wrote a screenplay in Brazil, wrote another one in Israel, worked on a project in Israel, and have just been hopping around and doing work internationally.
Nice.
So yeah, that brings us full circle. And I do want to say something about this lovely lady too, Julia. Whenever people go, men, or whenever somebody's ever been like, do you have any friends, or like, do you actually get along with people? And I start to like self-reflect and need to change things about myself. I'm like, well, Julia thinks I'm a pretty cool person and she's stuck around ever since I met her at a conference. I got to have some kind of redeemable qualities. But I really appreciate it and appreciate being here with you guys. And it's good to see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
We all love you, man. We
Yeah.
love you.
How are you guys doing? What's going on? So you guys are all in Nashville.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. What's happening?
Really? This?
Yeah.
Started doing this and
It's kind of taking all of our time now. So
it's pretty fun.
yeah.
Enjoy doing it.
Oh, it was looking like a horror film. I had to get more light in here. Well, sweet. Yeah, man. So I'm out here and we're, let me get some clearances here because I want to talk about a couple things. And there was one thing, doing a podcast right now. Am I clear to talk?
FBI agent, your mess. Do I miss you?
I've had the craziest experiences, man. Just the craziest experience because you said it. Um, I was developing and then ended up writing the pilot script for this series called Mice. And it's based on this. And by the way, I'm a little out of it because I have the flu, so I'm like trying to cope and be medicated. But the series is about this gentleman named Jonathan Pollard who was working as a naval intelligence analyst and was also Jewish and found some things out about the United States and its dealings in the Middle East that he felt like Israel needed to know. And so he shared those secrets, that information with members of the Mossad and was sentenced to life in prison for it. Which, by the way, he's the only United States citizen to spy for an ally of the United States and be sentenced to life in prison. Everybody else who had done that in the past, because there were others, one guy who was spying for the UK, another one who was spying for, I want to say Denmark, but I could be wrong, or Germany. But I think the toughest sentence was 7 years. And then it turned out that none of the things that they pinned on him, he did. So he was recently released, I want to say 3 years ago, and went to live in Israel. So I wrote the series based on that. But he was sentenced under the Reagan administration, and the documents that I got to read and some of the things that I had access to also, led me to make the decision to live elsewhere other than the United States.
Some bastards here. Kind of asshole government, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like, I don't know, man. It's like I always felt like, and that's my own ignorance and my own naivete, lack of understanding. I always felt like the country was run like an episode of The West Wing, like that show. So yes, Mr. President. Okay. And this highly intelligent Martin Sheen, up there running shit. He's got this cabinet of just slick, like they're on top of policy. They know what's happening, in different parts of the world. They're thoughtful, they're compassionate, cutthroat, but they're still about, some kind of greater, aspiration, some greater kind of an America. And then, same writer, you end up finding out that it's more like Jeff Daniels, sitting in front of the audience going, when you say America is a great country, I don't know what you're talking about. Fucking Yosemite, like, and I love my dad's, former military, law enforcement. I love America. I love America for the idea of what it was attempting to be. But at the same time, it's the land of psychopaths and sociopaths because, or to be even more crass, it's like a different analogies. Or a different metaphor. It's like perfect plastic surgery. It's like you have somebody who's a serial killer and just kind of cosmetically transformed to appear like it's giving you everything that you want and need, and really just stabbing you in the balls and trying to cut your throat. And that's really the thing. It's like you go into California and you go down to Santa Monica and you're walking on the beach and you're like, wow, this is great. So many movies have been filmed down here. Look at this pier, the Ferris wheel and all this stuff. This is amazing. smell that ocean air. Ah, it's beautiful. Let me go walk down on the beach. Man, this place looks incredible. Until you realize that they dump all of their sewage when it gets, overflowed, like out into the ocean. Just, millions of tons of raw sewage just dumped like right into your swimming water. And, kids are just like, splashing in the water. And you're like, what is going on here? That, billions and billions of dollars are given to these nonprofits. Many of them are run by celebrities, to combat homelessness. And yet the problem quadruples. The problem continues to grow and grow and grow. And yet the spending to aid the issue increases. I think it was like 95% from one year to the next. And yet the problem quadruples. Well, where's the money going? And then you start looking into it. There was a nonprofit that I really loved called Lava Mae, but they went out of business because they were doing honest business. So they went out of business, but they were providing shower and barber services to the city's homeless. And but you start looking into these nonprofits and you go, oh, this is like a Oprah Winfrey, The Rock, nonprofit situation. Like their overhead, they raise $40 million or $41 million. And, 35 of that is going to overhead, or whatever that number is. But I can't remember exactly what it was, but it's close to that. And then the people that you think would hold those guys accountable or say something or at least bring it up or, too interested in being their friends on their podcast. So like, The Rock goes on Joe Rogan, a guy who's brought up, hey, this guy, uses steroids. Not that there's anything wrong with that, like whatever, it seems to be working for him. But has criticized him and then also had guests on previously that were talking about his nonprofit and what the fuck are you doing in Maui and what's really happening? And why are you asking people to donate to your, and instead of asking him those questions, it's like, what a great workout this morning, brother. It's like, all right. So that's, I know that's a rant, but all that stuff just kind of encapsulates like, I got friends who are FBI agents. I got friends who are CIA agents. I got friends who are, contractors, military. I love America, but man, we do some crazy shit. And you guys are more than welcome to ask me specifics about what kind of crazy shit, and we can go into that, or we can just talk movie.
So, are you allowed to talk about your project that you got going on?
All right.
Here we go. Big news.
Oh, with who? Sorry for the delay.
I know you're in Thailand and you're still making strides. Like you're still making strides within the film industry, right?
Oh, fucking, what's a stride?
I don't know. Your project seems very awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so I would say my experience as far as strides in filmmaking have been like this. Like, here's the stride, and it's been a lifetime of like that. Yeah, I started. So when everybody started protesting AI, I had already been using AI. I had been using different AI platforms in beta since I was working at James Cameron's 3D company. Back then, like James was like, AI is gonna, artificial intelligence, like one day that is gonna completely flip everything. Our entire existence is gonna flip it on its head. And he was talking about it, and I was just a dum-dum who liked World of Warcraft at the time. So I was like, artificial intelligence, like, what's this? So I kind of kept my ear to the ground and then started messing around with different applications to do some things creative, but a lot of things non-creative, to have a writing partner, to bounce ideas off of, when even, beta versions of ChatGPT were coming out and that kind of stuff, to create, pitch decks and stuff like that. And, the conversations about AI replacing actors, like, yeah, that's some scary shit. But it's all in the negotiation, and it's got to be negotiated correctly. And what I think people are waking up to is SAG cares about SAG, doesn't care about actors. Now, there may be individuals within SAG who care about actors and care about the future of working actors, not just celebrities, but working actors. But SAG really cares about SAG and continuing its revenue stream, right? And so the deal that's been negotiated thus far is not a deal, not from the perspective of an actor. So, it's a tough time. But what I did is I have started with a group of just the top individuals in the field. And the core group of us is, hold on. 10. So a core group of us is 10. And one guy who I just love dearly came from Amblin Entertainment. Another guy, runs a post-production house. Another guy, a massive post-production house. Another guy I've produced quite a few movies with. And just like experts from like across the field. And we have another gentleman who headed up one of the largest AI companies. He built he didn't head it up. He built all the machine learning systems for it. And so what we wanted to do is, while the studios are saying we're going to make robots that are going to replace everybody, and Justine Bateman is saying AI will never have a place in our industry. It's like, hey, Justine, it's already here. Like, right? Like, it's already here. So this like hard line, like, no, it's not going to work. So what can we do? Well, we can make Iron Man suits. There is a way where you can use AI technology and this emerging technology to empower empower them to be able to get their concept from ideation to sale and distribution, and get that done without replacing anybody, just moving the goalposts of when that collaboration happens. So that's a company that I've been working on for 3 years. We've launched. We had our soft launch at AFM, and now we're gearing up for our big, massive launch. And it's literally, it's going to change everything. And nobody's doing what we're doing. Like, we're doing something that nobody else is doing, which is going to be great. And we're also going to make it available to schools. That's a big focus, that, we can educate studios, we can educate production companies, we can educate distribution companies, sales companies, streamline their processes, make it easier for them, find out their vulnerabilities and eliminate them. But also empower students and give them, we keep saying we're going to build nuclear reactors for studios, but we're going to build nuclear submarines for creatives and give it to them. So, it's exciting. So while everybody was striking, I was like, okay, this wave's coming. There's no way to stop it. I could be the taxi driver at LAX who keeps driving around in circles and never picking anybody up, and I just get a consistent check from a government subsidy. Or I can sit there and go, okay, Uber and Lyft is real. It's here. It's a technology. So how do I get in on this so I can feed my family? But also, how does this get executed responsibly? Because what Uber and Lyft doesn't realize, all those drivers, is that they will be replaced by driverless cars. And they are currently building the mapping systems by their use and driving around and picking people up and doing all those things for makers like Tesla and others, and Google Maps to partner up. And it's already in play in some countries on a very minor scale, but to create driverless cars and pick people up. And then what are all the Uber and Lyft drivers going to do? Oh my God, oh no, they're going to strike. And they're going to protest, and then they'll move on into something else, because that's what happens with technological innovation.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I started an AI company. So that's one. We got a movie that we're producing right now. I got to help out in a little way, brought financing to the project, but it's called Riff Raff. I'm doing that with my two dear friends, Patrick Muldoon and Patrick Hibbler. And it's my second outing with Ditto Montiel, albeit in a smaller capacity. But it feels good to be able to help a guy out and make this movie. But it's Ed Harris, Dustin Hoffman, Jennifer Coolidge, Pete Davidson, and it's filming in New Jersey right now. So, I got a co-EP on that. And then we're moving into Hit, Kick, Punch, Kill, which I've been talking to you guys about for fucking ever.
I cannot wait.
But we're finally got traction on it. Riz is directing, and so we're moving on that 2024. I got a project with Joe Lynch called Meat Paw that we're now putting together in a very real way. And I love to be working with him again. Thank God. He's just a sweetheart and a hell of a director. Have you guys seen Suitable Flesh? I need to shut up. Jesus. Suitable Flesh? His new movie? There's a movie I'll recommend. Suitable Flesh.
Okay.
Julia would love it.
It's going on our list.
It's got Heather Graham in it. Nice.
Yeah. Heather Graham's in it. Barbara Crampton, Jonathan Sheck. He's a great guy, Jonathan. I need to hit him up. I haven't talked to him in a hot minute. But it's a really great film. It really shows Lynch's sick, twisted mind and and also his incredible style. And when you watch the trailer, either you get it or you don't. It's one of those things. But our project Meat Paw is very much the same way. It's like if I had to compare it to anything, I would say it's Jesus Lord. It's Mandy meets Karate Kid.
Oh my.
That is definitely two films on the opposite ends of spectrum.
It's really Mandy meets Karate Kid. And when you guys, when the movie's done and you guys see it, you'll be like, oh yeah, it's Mandy meets Karate Kid. That's how I would pitch it. It's Mr. Miyagi, but Mr. Miyagi is a coked out cyborg.
Nice.
Yeah, man. And then here in Thailand, I got a production that I'm doing. I'm directing this year as well. 2024, I'm directing. Directing a film. I just finished the script. Brandon Cox, who Julia, he's going to be DPing.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're gonna go get that done. So we're gonna shoot that here in Thailand, and I love it here. So yeah, I'm really excited. People are humble. They're hardworking. They're really, really lovely, and it's a great place to, raise a kid.
Awesome, man.
Where on the map is Thailand?
Southeast Asia.
Yeah. Just making sure people.
Oh my God. Ignore him. Lord.
But also, we do move around quite a bit. Like we've been here, but we've been bouncing around everywhere. Like we had to go to Israel again, and then all this crazy shit happened. By the way, dude, did I miss, what did I just miss in that? Because you cut out. What did you say? You're still laughing. Say that shit again.
Stupid.
Say it. Repeat it.
He asked where Thailand is on the map.
Jesus Christ. Really?
Oh shit!
That's amazing.
Ignorant Americans.
You are living. You are living there. There isn't somebody off screen holding a gun to your head right now, are they?
Oh no.
Okay, just making sure. He's got a script in front of him.
Here, dude. Let me show you something.
Oh, man. Show me your Catherine. They got ski masks on and an AK-47. Oh wow! Look at that.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That is beautiful. So you're in the city.
That's
Yeah, that is
amazing.
beautiful. I hear the countryside. No, I'm just kidding.
If by gun you mean amazing food, incredible people, and you could pay $50 in groceries for 2
Oh,
months
wow.
worth of food,
Dang.
then
Oh man,
then yeah, that's a gun.
that sounds amazing.
You have an extra bedroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. You guys come on down.
With 3 beds.
Yeah. Well,
Come on down. No, and I mean that like that's not a flex. Like when I literally saying like it is more cost effective with, having a fiance, her daughter, my 2 kids, which they're grown now, but they're still, expenses and stuff. And then our son, who's a baby. It's more cost effective to live here. In California, I'd be dead ass, just done, be dead in the water. Even if I made a move to a place that was less expensive in the U.S., it doesn't even come close.
Oh, I'm
Doesn't
sure.
even come. Yeah, and the healthcare here is great. Yeah, it's just a wonderful place.
know what health.
How you like them apples? I'm just kidding.
You got health care. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
He doesn't even have insurance.
Yeah, I'm just on this end of the table.
I remember that, like, the only time I had insurance in the States was when I was working for a company, like James Cameron's company. Like that was it.
Yeah.
You can't afford it.
When did you start working for him?
I was 2014, 2015. Yeah, 2014 to 2015.
So he,
Like, here's a good question. Sorry to put you on the spot, but do any of you guys have healthcare?
I do.
You do?
I have really good health care, but I also work for HCA
But that,
all my life.
yeah, so that comes through the company you work for, right?
Yeah, they're a healthcare company.
yeah, I don't get shit.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. When Obamacare got implemented, that's when I got fucked. Honestly, I got to stay on my mom's insurance until the stipulation of Obamacare that was actually pretty decent. But after I turned 27 and got turned on my loose, that shit was too expensive in most cases.
Do you get it through your work?
I ain't got shit, man. I could drop dead tomorrow. Ain't nobody getting nothing out of me.
Well, same here.
But it's the truth.
So,
It's about insurance here. That's what sucks. I mean, it's not fucking health, for God's sake. Like, I used to have health care. That's before.
does the employer that you work for, do they offer anything?
I don't know if they don't, like, on a regular employee basis. Like, everybody, I'm sure if I asked them to, the boss would go out of his way to try to set something up for me.
Right.
But who knows? I mean, which is going for calls insurance, but
Right.
I haven't seen the need for it at all yet. I don't have any children or a girlfriend at all, so my future. So
You could get married.
get married. That'd be another.
Get married, a couple pups. Well, Julia, you're in that industry. You got to hook a brother up.
Yeah.
Insurance, knowing me.
Also, man, like honestly, like I'm being real. Like I'm like it's still paycheck to paycheck on my end, and I know that that view that I just showed you looks amazing, but it's like the cost of that is less than what I was paying in California.
Right.
And so it's like people look and go, oh, you're just balling, like you're doing this, you're doing that, and it's like, no, man, like that's not it. We made a move, and fortunately, my partner's a gangster and is a gypsy herself, and I am. I've bounced around all over the place and lived out a suitcase the majority of my life. She's done the same thing. So for us to be nomadic,
Right.
And finding somebody who is like that like, yeah, let's roll, let's bounce, we'll just let's just go figure it out. And it was just really, really, really cool and really great. And I recognize how lucky I am to have that unique situation.
For sure.
Yeah. Julia knows.
But,
like Julia's run the gamut of relationships.
We all love you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Julia's
Everybody loves me.
I could tell you stories about relationships. It's Julia.
Yes, I could.
Come, kids, sit around the fire and let me tell you a story about my past love.
Oh man.
Well, okay, so you're not in a relationship. You're not in a relationship.
No, not at all.
No,
What about you? What about you, sir?
no, both single as hell.
Ladies, if you're listening, these two fine lads are single and ready to mingle.
But the mingle part.
Let's do our best pitch for you guys, to the ladies.
You will.
If they watched our 2 episodes before this, they're going to know that we're a little weird.
Yeah,
We devoted about a quarter of our last podcast to our.
yeah. That's true.
Wait, you keep cutting out.
Oh, who? Ryan
You guys
does?
get that? Yeah.
Me.
Talk a little louder.
Yeah.
So we spent about an hour talking about our favorite that were in movies.
So let me tell you what I just heard. Our last episode, we spent an hour talking about and so in my brain, it made me think that you spent the last hour of the last podcast talking about your dick. So that's what I mean.
People's dicks in movies.
The audio is kind of funky. It keeps cutting out. So you gotta clarify what you just said. What did you spent an hour talking about? What?
So we spent what you said 20 minutes talking about dicks in movies.
Yeah.
And how there are a lack of dicks.
Oh, I was right.
You are right. I know. Yeah.
Not our own dicks. We weren't talking about our own dicks.
That's amazing. What was it? What was the end of that conversation? What did you guys come to?
And it went down a rabbit hole pretty fast.
What was the purpose of the conversation? Like, what's the best dick in film, or like how many dicks? Or...
So the conversation was how there are always boobs in vaginas in movies, but there's a lack of male dicks in movies. And then we named a few that we knew of, such as The Crying Game and Ewan McGregor in Trainspotting, and then of course Kevin Footlong in Wild Things. So it was just, huh?
No, you guys need to see more movies.
Well, we did say that there's probably a ton of porn movies that we haven't seen.
Oh yeah.
No. Forget that. Like, porn's the devil anyway. I don't advocate porn or or any of that stuff.
Give us a list.
But I will say this: Tom Hardy's dong is always flapping in the wind somewhere in his films.
Okay.
Forgot about that.
Well, and television shows, by the way.
So we did say that there's a lot on HBO.
Yeah, there's a lot of Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
He's Bronson. You get the full, like it's like that close.
Someone forgot.
Not to my face, but like Tom Hardy and Bronson, Michael Fassbender in Shameless. Why do I know all this? I shouldn't. Why am I the dick and film expert?
There it is.
See?
Bruce Willis in Color of Night.
You spoon on some things we don't know about. Ryan's going to write a list. Hold on.
Bruce Willis.
Yeah. Bruce Willis in Color of Night. My boy Shia LaBeouf in Nymphomaniac.
Well, I forgot about that one. I knew about that one too. Dang.
It's a Lars von Trier.
Willem Dafoe in Lars von Trier's other film. Antichrist.
Well, that wasn't his. Apparently, they had to have a dick double. Willem Dafoe's.
No. That was. I think that was Shia.
Oh, for Nymphomaniac.
Yeah. Willem Dafoe. That's all Willem Dafoe.
Oh, okay.
And don't quote me on that because I don't know about the Shia thing, and I feel weird talking about my guy like that. I got to get off that. That's my brother. That feels weird.
You're a celebrity. You have another podcast.
If Shia sees this, I'm sorry, dude.
And you're just talking about penis.
I'll get off that topic now. Let me think. Who else be running around like that? Oh, you kind of see Kevin Costner.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can see it. It's from the back, but you see it. Dances with Wolves.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You're right.
If you also do, Robin Hood, you did a little Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Although that was a body double, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That was not Kevin Costner's bum taking a swim when Lady Marion comes up over the cliff and goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
Robin of Locksley, swimming in the pool." Oh.
Thank you for broadening our
Yeah.
Harvey Keitel,
Bad Lieutenant.
Bad Lieutenant. I feel like Nick Cage has been out there somewhere.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't say that for certain.
That Nicholas.
But I'm gonna throw that in there. I'm gonna let you guys do the dick searching. But I think Nick Cage.
We're on.
I think Nick. You know who would be able to riff off all of like everyone that's ever been done? Joe Lynch. He would go, "Oh, dude, bam, 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 bam." He would be able to list every single.
We're gonna try and make this.
Oh, dude, what are we talking about? Freaking Billy Bob Thornton.
Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball.
We did
We talk about that. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah.
So do you think him and Halle Berry actually got it
What are
on?
you talking about? Of course.
Yes. Yes. I knew it.
That's not even a question. Like you see it. It's like it matters. I just think it's weird. Yeah. Justin Timberlake? No.
No.
Well, that's all I got for you guys. That's all the gas in the tank I got on the.
We love it.
But I think at least I expanded your list.
Yes.
Yes.
My Google search has been filled with just dong pictures now.
That's terrifying. I don't know why that fascinates you.
Hey, I mean, we just think men need to get the recognition.
I think we do. I think it's just not talked about enough, and I think yeah. Anyway, that's a whole nother.
You want to talk about it, but you don't. And that's what we love.
No, I just think that it's like, it's like there was a period in filmmaking, late 90s, I want to say, like Joel Schumacher Batman times, like around that time. Is that 90s? I think that's 90s. Yes.
Showgirls.
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 But I think movies got kind of formulaic in the sense of like, oh, here's the man meets the woman. Okay, here's a little bit of the tension. Okay, here's the love scene. Like every movie's got this love scene moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, but for what? And it's like, if it doesn't, I look at sex, violence, in very much the same way. If it doesn't move the story forward, deepen the characters, or reveal something about the character, then it's pointless.
Right.
Like it's pointless. It's or exploitive, which I guess it's maybe not pointless. Pointless is probably the wrong word, but it definitely can be exploitive. Like if you look at Nymphomaniac, like that's like people go, oh my gosh, it's just people having. No, it's much more than that. It's much more than that. The story is much more than that. Definitely. And about how, this girl's upbringing and the trauma and how all of that related, it all had a purpose. Bronson, even the nudity in Bronson had a purpose. It was to show, this, as, and I'm making a big leap here, but I think in Bronson's character, Hardy's character, like that scene in the, when he starts taking his clothes off and the guy's like, wait, what are you doing? He's like, well, what's it look like I'm doing, you can, that you're like, wait a minute, like, what is he getting ready to do? There's this threat of like, oh no. And what does that say about me as an audience member? Like, what am I thinking?
Right.
And it kind of turns the tables on you. And you wonder, like, oh, have I been celebrating this guy and worshiping this guy only to find out he's going to do something absolutely horrendous? And then you find out, no, like he's stripping down to who he actually is. Mm-hmm. And who he actually is he finds love in violence. He finds family in violence. Prison is his home. Yeah. He looks at prison. He'd rather be in prison and he equates the abuse that he receives in prison as love. So, and it's a very twisted thing, but it's very real. So when the guards come in and beat him up, I mean, he's a bloody pulp at the end of the thing, but he's very happy. The only time Bronson is unhappy is when he gets sent to the psych ward and he's like, I want my hotel room back. I want to be back in the hole. Like I want to be home, with my family and the guards who beat me, like stuff. And which is why at the end of the movie, when he's naked again with his art teacher and has tied him up and made him his art piece, he's naked again because he's like, oh yeah, there's a fucking piece of me, is what he says. And that's like, that's that moment. So sex, nudity, violence, only when they serve a purpose to drive the story, deepen the characters, broaden the relationships, or otherwise it's just, it's like, what are we doing? Like I understand other people have different philosophies and different, some people are like, oh, I love a Serbian film. That's like the best movie in the world. I get that. Like, but for me, for my sensibilities, I think everything's gotta have a purpose, gotta have a meaning, gotta have something behind it. Everybody kept pushing for a sex scene in Man Down between Kate Mara and Shia LaBeouf, and I was like, no, it doesn't need it. Like the story doesn't need it. Why do we need to take a break for these two to, unless it could bring something up? Like if there is a moment in the movie where she comes home which they kind of made up on the fly, where she goes to like undress and he's like, no, because it's a reminder of what's happened. Same thing happened on Point Blank. Like they were like, oh, do you think, they get back together? And then it's like, and it's like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we talking about here? Stop it. Yeah. And luckily, I had Ditto with my back on the one and Lynch with my back on the other.
It was a show that studio, that happy, kind of go lucky kind of link to the films nowadays. Like where everything's got to end on a happy note. That's why we like, we've talked about it so much. Like we love Hereditary. I don't know if you ever seen Hereditary. But
Hereditary's gnarly.
There's nothing happy about that movie.
Right.
That is a 2-hour long movie of just pure depression. And I love it.
I'll do you one better on that same actor, Pig, with Nicolas Cage. That actor in Hereditary. I'm so sorry, I forgot his name.
Alex Wolff.
Oh my God, dude! I want to see more of him. Yeah. And the fact that I'm not seeing more of him makes me want to see even more of him. So, Joe Lynch and I went to the Pig premiere because we were trying to get Nick Cage on a joint that we were doing, Meatpaw, which, may or may not still be a possibility. But we went there. Mike Nylon is his manager. I know him fairly well. And so we went to that premiere and saw Alex, and I just came up to him. I'm like, dude, like, amazing. And even his performance in Pig was incredible. Mm-hmm. And you want to talk about a movie that ain't got a happy ending, like Pig.
Yeah.
Is just like, dude, my God.
Oh, we went.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I love that movie. Alex Wolff is incredible. And I know it's a well-known story, but he broke his freaking jaw. He broke his freaking face when he slammed it into the desk. In Hereditary. Yeah, he's a tremendous actor. Now you guys got me thinking. I got to find him. I'm like, I got to find that guy. Like I get that. Like Noah, you guys know my buddy Noah Danby, right? Have I brought him up to you? I know to Julia I have.
Yeah, I think I've met him.
I don't think.
Yeah. So Noah's doing. Look him up when you guys get a chance on IMDb. He's doing a ton of shit. He's great. He's my longest standing friend, which I think speaks less of me and more about his insanity or low quality in France. But he's been doing a lot of work, and he just did a movie with or it might have been a series with the guy who played Wormtongue in Lord of the Rings.
Okay, Brad Dourif.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There's a guy. Dude, he was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Right? I mean, this guy has been in fucking everything and just been working his ass off his entire life and is a phenomenal actor. Like, there's somebody. Yep. Like, I'd love to cast a film with these actors that are just tremendous, just juggernauts in their own right, but just don't get that kind of like, number one on the call sheet, shine. Mm-hmm. Like I would love to get, guys like that. I love to see guys like David Oyelowo. Is that who I'm fucking thinking of? That's the wrong guy. Is that the wrong guy? Nope. Not Nope to David Oyelowo, but Nope to the movie Nope.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly how I felt.
Let me see. Hold up. Hold up. No, David Oyelo's the no. David Oyelowo. David Oyelowo is freaking awesome though. He did I saw David Oyelowo do a play. I would love to see more of him too. But Daniel Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya is awesome.
Yeah.
He was in what's that called? Judas and the Messiah, Black Judas and the Messiah or whatever. But he was in Nope. I'd love to see what like the choices that guy's making and what he does. Want to see more of him. Also same movie, Stephen Yeun. I know we're seeing more of Stephen Yeun. He voices Invincible, but Stephen's amazing, incredible actor.
He's probably the best part of Nope.
What? You watch your sir.
I wasn't a big fan of it, honestly, compared to his other two, Jordan Peele.
Yeah, you don't go into movies like that, brother.
So
you don't go. It's not. Well, I guess maybe you do. I mean, for me, I just loved it for what it was. Like the idea that a UFO isn't a machine; it's an animal that lives in the sky and will fucking eat you. It's like, oh man, like that's wild. That's totally nuts. I thought it was really
great.
And I loved his character, like staring it down. He's always looking down at the ground, and for the first time he looks up and like stares this thing down. I loved it. It was dope. I thought it was great.
Who's the guy that played the dude that played the film director was another good performance in the film.
Yeah.
That dude.
Yeah. Oh, brother. Yes. He's the guy.
He's the villain from The Crow.
Yes, he was. Dude, I'm gonna freaking
get his name.
Lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind because I brought him up the other day to Lynch when we were talking about our project.
Great.
What's his name?
I can't think of it for the life of me.
What is his name? I love this guy. What is his name?
Michael Wincott.
Michael Wincott. Why isn't he on? Oh, there he is. Dude, this freaking guy.
He played in Robin Hood.
Yeah, he was in Robin Hood. But why a spoon, cousin? Yeah. See, it all comes back to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, doesn't it? Yeah, he was the guy. But why a spoon, cousin? Why not a knife or a fork? Because it'll hurt more, you twit. I love it. People take shots at that movie all the time, but I love it.
So who's an actor you really want to work with personally?
We just named him.
Michael Wincott?
Oh, I love him. I freaking love him, dude.
He came out of nowhere with Nope, so I mean, I haven't seen him in much in the last 20 years.
Well, he's been doing he did a ton of things. He was in Alien Resurrection, Along Came a Spider, Count of Monte Cristo. I remember that. Assassination of Richard Nixon, Seraphim Falls, What Just Happened with Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
The Iceman, he got a special thanks. That's interesting. I wonder what the story is behind that. Yeah, Ghost in the Shell. Nope. Hey, he's been working. Actor I'd like to work with, so the project that I just finished, the script that I just finished, I finished for Shia. So, for me, like if I'm being brutally honest, I love Man Down. And I'll always love Man Down, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says about it. Did it turn out how I wanted? No. Was it how I wrote it? No. The script is very different from how it turned out.
Right.
Why? Well, there's a bunch of reasons for that. The VFX company that we were working with went bankrupt in the middle of post-production. After we had paid them for all of our post-production. So that changed everything. It changed the coloring of the film. It changed the special effects. It changed the whole ending sequence of the movie. And that film really rides on Shia and on his performance. And it really is a performance piece. And it was designed that way. It was designed to be this one person's perspective, but it definitely didn't turn out how I wanted it. Right. And some of those were changes by Ditto. And guess what? He's the fucking director. They're his decisions to make. Yeah. So I don't bemoan that. It's just, as a writer, you just got to write it and let it go. And that's my job. But the experience of going through that and everything that happened after that, the blowback, the shit that happened to, Shia, like the attacks that we got that were completely unwarranted, made me go, okay, I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. And which is why Point Blank, I got to be involved start to finish, right? Like I got to write the script, make changes, work with Lynch. We sat in his studio and went over the script and made a bunch of changes. Then when we got to set, budget changes happened and all the same kind of shit that happens on every production that happened. And so we had to make changes on the fly, which we did. And we were dealing with some pretty, gnarly on-set insanity, right. Which we rolled with. But I'm so happy with it because I know, okay, like that's that's what we wanted, and it's pretty much what was on the page. Like you read the script and you can kind of follow along and go like, yeah, this is it. This is what it is. It's on the page. So if people hate it, cool. If people like it, cool. I don't care. I just care that it was what I was trying to get across. I don't care if people, like it or hate it. I care that I was communicating effectively, because I can say something and somebody go, oh, fuck that guy. I hate what that guy's saying. Or, oh, I love what that guy's saying. Or I really don't care what that guy's saying, but I understand what he's saying. So but it's for me to like it or not like it. So Point Blank, I'm satisfied because, Lynch was always like, hey, man, I think we're going to change the scene. I just got this notes from an actor. Like, what do you think? Yeah, okay, let me make the changes. And I was on set for all that. So that was great. But I want that again. And I've been following different directors. I've been on set with different directors, shadowing different directors, having long conversations with cinematographers so I can direct this feature and come out the gate swinging and not have to do a short film or do some, like one location, a horror film that all takes place inside of a phone booth, as my first feature for under $1 million. And then after you do 5 of those, then you can do the feature that you want. Fuck that. Yeah. I'm just going to make it on my own terms. I knew that coming out of Man Down. And I also knew that I owed Shia a dance. Like I owed him another dance, and he doesn't owe me shit. He doesn't owe me anything. So whether or not he wants to dance, that's on him. But I wrote this piece specifically to do a dance with him and not have any variables come in between that communication between me in the position of a director and him in the position as an actor and creative collaborator, which I know that term gets thrown around a lot, but I want that clear communication because we've had it a couple times. Post Man Down, he had there was one day, and that's what got me like rolling on this. There was one day at his acting studio in LA. It's called the Slauson Rec acting school. And we were there and I was watching him teach and he was having different anybody could participate. It was like a free for all, and there's like 150, whatever people in the room, just a bunch of people in the room, and I was just watching this thing evolve, and wasn't really trying to make a move or raise a hand or anything. I was just observing. But then I saw him trying to find something like a message in what these actors were putting together and trying to organically find. And they were all hitting around it. But my writer brain kicked in and was like, I see the story. Like, I see the story. It's like when you look at one of those puzzles and you step back from it and all of a sudden the image appears. Like back in the day, those crazy, it looks like white noise. And then you look back and you're like, oh, that's a dolphin. What the fuck? It was like that. And so I took a step back and was like, oh, there's a story here. And I was like, this. And he looked at me and was like, that's it. And then they threw that element in. And then this chain reaction started happening and people started going like, oh, I think I see what the story could be. And I was like, what about this? And all of a sudden we riffed, and it was brief, but that brief riff of, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes was so rewarding that I was like, that I need that.
Yeah.
Like, I want that. It was absolute clear communication and a very healthy environment. And that's what I want. Doesn't mean shit's not going to be stressful. Doesn't mean things aren't going to be crazy. Doesn't mean that the story that I wrote, the piece that I wrote for him, isn't going to be gnarly for him and for me. But it'll be safe. It'll be and will require and demand clear communication, and I want that. And he's one of the only people that I've come across that I could do that with. And I've gotten down with all the actors on stuff that I've worked on. Mackie's a good guy like that. Like, Mackie's very, very positive. He's a wonderful, amazing, beautiful human being. I could get down with Mackie on something, but it would be something drastically different from what, he's been doing.
Right.
I got a piece like that I think Mackie would be really great for. I always keep people in mind like that. But anyway, sorry guys, I'm rambling so much. It's also because I don't take any ADD medication anymore.
That's what we want you to do.
Yeah. Occupy our time.
Yeah. I owe him that dance. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and he's been through hell. And he's made some mistakes, but he's taken off his shoes and walked across glass and crawled across the field of glass, not as some kind of a requirement, but because he's trying to better himself. And I respect that. And that's somebody I want to support.
I kind of grew up watching Shia LaBeouf, so like I've grown up with him, because I remember watching him on the Even Stevens show.
Yeah, like
way back in the day, and to see where he's at now, it's quite remarkable.
Yeah,
because he has pulled off some great performances. If you think about it, like his performance, my favorite of his, honestly,
very good,
is the was he the missile operator?
I think so. Yeah,
God, he's so good in that movie.
Yeah,
so good at that movie. Honey Boy.
Oh yeah. I got to see Honey Boy in the theater.
Honey Boy's fantastic movie.
Yeah,
Honey Boy was amazing.
Such a great actor.
He's good in Info.
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie's for maniacs, but you watching Info?
Yeah, he just commits to everything that he does. Like Fury, even Tax Collector. Yeah. Shia is the kind of guy that it's like, he's the actor that only a director can fuck up his performance. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
so you'll watch him in something, and and it's like he's incredible and he's committed in everything he does. So if a movie's lacking, it's on the, you know, whoever's around it, you know, whoever's steering that ship. And I recognize that on my thing. Like if I don't rise to the occasion, you know, then that's on me. It's mine to fuck up,
Right.
you know. And he would probably say the same thing. He's like, no, man, like, you know, I have the same fears. I have the same, you know, whatever. Or maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. But like, I think he's after the truth, and I'm after the truth, particularly with this piece. And I know what it is in the script, but I don't know what that is in the performance, and I won't know until we get there. So I want to get there, you know. So we can keep this going as long as you guys want. I just got to get a key. Let me run this to the person standing outside, and I'll come right back and be like 2 seconds. I'm not going to do any more rants. Rapid fire questions. Let's do this.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire.
You got a question for him, Julia?
I've already asked questions. It's Philip's turn.
I'd like to hear you speak about like the creative writing process in general. Like, it's such like a personal and like abstract thing. Like I've always thought that it's something that can't be taught like necessarily in like a classroom. So like, what are some ways that like a amateur writer could overcome like self-criticism and anxiety and things like that?
I don't know. I mean, that's the honest answer. Like I'm always critical. Like that holds up, you know, my process. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm still, I don't know, on these last ones that I did, because I've written 3 scripts. And by the way, like I haven't gotten around to it, but you know, to my, I guess I'll just say it here. Like I know it says I got an agent and manager on IMDb, but I don't need you guys anymore. So you know, you'll soon find out that I don't want any representation. Because I haven't heard from him. You know, I haven't heard from him in 2 years, and I've still had to pay the bills by writing and ghostwriting and doing stuff like that, all outside of the country. At, you know, for pennies, because I love it, because I love writing. I also love directing. And what have I been directing? Well, I've been directing my own things, my own shorts, my own videos, little snippets of stuff and projects that I do for people for free. And some that I've done for, you know, minimal pay or whatever. And then some that I've even put up little things on social media, like little things that I've done here and there, you know. But as far as like self-criticism, man, like that never goes away. You just have to not listen to it, or listen to it when it's appropriate. You know, I've been stopped. I've been stopped. I've had projects that I've started and just they're dead. Like they're dead in the water because I haven't been able to finish them, because the second that something starts to feel like I'm forcing something, and that doesn't mean work. Like there's always this stupid, it's not stupid, it's very real, but it you know, I know it doesn't help you, because I've been in that position where somebody goes, the secret to writing is you got to write. Got to sit down and write. Like, just write. Every day, write. Right. You know, Aaron Sorkin, you know, is on his master class, you know, I'm going to teach you how to write. And it's like, you're Aaron Sorkin. Why do I want to write like Aaron Sorkin?
Yeah.
You're teaching me how to write like Aaron Sorkin, which is why, if you guys remember, like at the Nashville Film Institute, may it rest in peace. That's why at the Nashville Film Institute.
Oh shit! Throwing some shade.
So when I came down to Nashville and was like, you know, dancing with you guys, I was always like, you know, we gotta find your own way, find your own voice. Like, look at all these different people, and then other people would be like, oh, we were watching YouTube videos of shorts and doing this and that. And I really didn't learn anything, you know, from Adam's class. And I'm like, that's because you don't know who you are. You don't know your own voice. I'm trying to help you find your voice, because if you don't know what you want to, you know, who you are, if you don't either know who you are or are willing to go on that journey to discover who you are, you're fucked. Like, period. Like, that's it. And that's for acting, that's for directing, that's for writing. It's like, I know who I am. I know the message. I know the story. I know my voice. Boom, here it is. And you got that. It's like, I'm the captain of the ship. This is what I'm doing. There's those kinds of guys. Then there's guys that are like, I don't know. Maybe. Let's discover. Let's discover like what this is. Let's discover like who we are. I'm more in that camp. I've been around a lot of this is my vision. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of projects like that. That's just not me. I'm like, look, here's the blueprint. This is the roadmap. Let's discover. Let's figure out, like, you know, what I'm about. So like this project, this one in particular that I just finished, is like, it's a map. It's like, this is the journey we're going to go on, right? This is the hiking trail we're going to go on. Now we're going to camp at these different spots. While we're camping at these different spots, we might get attacked by a bear. We might freeze to death, or it might be sunshine and rainbows the entire way, and there's going to be butterflies all over. I don't fucking know, but we're not going to know until we get there, because for whatever reason, I can't look up, you know, the forecast and the weather of what it's going to be like. We got to get there and figure it out. And this is, but I know the stops along the way. I know what's going to happen. So, you know, like in the writing process itself, there is something to the discipline of going, all right, I'm just going to get one thing done today, and being happy with that, being okay with it. Like, because to just say, we'll just write, right? Or for Aaron Sorkin to say, well, the secret to writing is rewriting and blow, you know, because that's Sorkin, but and he's written tremendous work. But honestly, like, you know, that's not my bag either. Like, I don't like to hear writers. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I don't think. I just don't think people talk the way that he has them speak. I think he's gotten a lot better. Like, I love, you know, his more recent work, but I just think, you know, so sitting down and writing, what does that mean? Like, you sit down and you go, okay, you know, I've got this dialogue exchange between these two characters. Let me just get that done. And if I get a piece of a conversation, I'm happy with that. I got something done today. One damn thing done today on this thing. I'll put it to bed. And tomorrow I'm going to get another thing done. And that's just one more, you know, pebble. That's one more round in the chamber. So I just keep going. I got so many scripts done, dude. And that's what I mean. If I had if my agent or manager would ever like check in and go, hey man, what are you working on? But I haven't heard from them in years. So it's like, fuck them. Now it's just like, but you don't need them because it's like, I can do it myself. There's no reason why I can't finance, cast, crew up my own production, with the people that I know.
Yeah.
You can do it yourself. So get something done every day, dude. Like just something that you can go. And that could be one line, that could be whatever. Also, don't be afraid to skip around. Free your mind of this linear fucking, the inciting incident happens on page 15, and I read Save the Cat, and what it means is that, after the inciting incident, then there's the rising action, which leads to the climax, and then the conflict resolution, and then end credits. It's like, yeah, that's how you make a McDonald's hamburger for sure. But like, and that might be your bag. That might be something that you want to do. You might read Save the Cat and go, oh, that's the fucking way. I'm in, and do it. And I know guys that are formulaic like that. And I've had to write scripts like that. Like the ones where somebody goes, yo, man, we're going to pay you, 120 grand. That's only happened like twice in my life. But we're going to pay you 120 grand, go write this, and then you're like, okay, Save the Cat. How do I do this? Let me get on this formula, right. And then you bang it out and they go, man, that's spot on, son. And you're like, I hate the script. But, but it's the stuff that I'm writing for me that I really care about. And just don't feel like you got to follow a formula. You might be going for a walk, looking at a piece of art, listening to a piece of music. You might go, oh, I got this great scene in my mind that goes somewhere in this story that I want to tell. I'm going to write this scene, and you just write the scene and let it sit. And then that will create a gravity where other scenes will start to piece in, or you'll start to write and you'll go, oh wait, I remember I wrote that scene, bam. And then you put it in, just free yourself up. Or, there's also the, what I did with this thing is I started looking up music that went along with the theme of the story, what I was trying to tell. And I made a point to not pull in any music that I had heard before. Mm-hmm. So I started searching different genres, even in different languages, specifically Vietnamese, and was like looking for certain music and was like, oh, that's that. Okay, I'm going to pull that in here. And then that started to like feed the idea, but I made sure it was something I'd never heard before. Otherwise it comes with attachments to things. So just free yourself up, man, and don't get locked in, and don't show it to your friends and family ever, whatever you write. Send it, get some professional eyes on it. There's tons of coverage companies. There's AI companies now that do coverage that's pretty good. Pseudo Write, and there's a couple others out there I can send to you. But yeah, I would say some of that, man, like free up your mind, experience the, creative things, and let the story come to you. That's if you're just writing for yourself. If it's a deadline, then you gotta go get some writing partners, get some people to come in and go like, okay, I'm setting a deadline on this thing. I need some help, bounce ideas. Who's great for that? Julia. No, seriously. No, I'm dead serious. Julia, you have wonderful ideas, great sensibilities, great taste. And you're just a great storyteller. I think you're a phenomenal storyteller. I think I think it'd be a shame, before you take a dirt nap in this life, if you didn't write something, whether that's a book, screenplay, a play, a short, like something. Like I think you need to write.
There you go.
Well, I do have an idea, so.
So write it, mother.
And it kind of piggies off from Ryan. I don't think every story has to have a happy ending.
Right.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I
Some of
do
my favorite
not have a
some
happy
of my favorite stories don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite stories don't.
Yeah.
Like my favorite plays. I think out of Shakespeare, and I know it's played out, and people go whatever, Billy Shakespeare, but Hamlet.
Yeah.
Nobody lives. Nobody. You get to the end of that. Yeah. You get to the end and you're like, I'm sorry, what did you do? What did you do, Shakespeare? You know? But yeah, you know, it's the tragedy. What did he say, man? He said something at this meeting. He said the tragedy is you like the characters. You know, that's where great tragedy takes place, is you actually you see the villain's perspective. Like you like that guy, but you like the hero. Like you like these people, or the whatever that is, the protagonist and the antagonist. Let's just say that. But you like these, but they're likable. There's this certain Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Okay, so why do you keep mentioning this? Our very first
I don't know, man. We got on it.
So our very first episode, we talked about our favorite movie villains, and my choice was Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham. Robin Hood.
Alan Rickman is a baller. And anybody that looks into that guy's life, into the thought and the research and the effort that he put into his characters. I mean, there's nobody like him. I mean, even in something like Harry Potter, right? Like that guy went to town, like just research, kept digging, finding ways, asking questions. He knew shit about his character that nobody else knew on that set, that was going on in the mind of his character all the way, you know, back, that nobody else knew. And then you go back and watch the movies and go, oh my God, like this was his motivation. This is what he was thinking. Like it's phenomenal. Like he's great. And everybody, you know, talks about Daniel Day-Lewis and stuff and his commitment to things, but like Alan Rickman's stud. Like what a baller. I'll throw one out. Gene Hackman. Like Gene Hackman's incredible. Like that guy, like just, I love those guys. I love Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman's incredible. But yeah, like Robin Hood. Like you like the Sheriff of Nottingham. Like what's crazy is he's terrible. He's a horrible, murderous villain who then is like committing rape, like attempting rape at the end of that movie, right? But he's conducted himself and layered this character in a way that he's got this thing about him. He's got this like swagger where like audiences go like, oh, I like this guy. Oh, now we're getting to this part where he's forcing himself on this woman. Okay, yeah, I don't like him. Kevin Costner, kill his ass, please. You know, he deserves it. Fuck him. Same in Die Hard. Like you see Alan Rickman in Die Hard, and you're like, oh, fuck this guy. He's like killing innocent people. But I do like that he killed that cokehead, you know, piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, guy that was in there trying to manipulate him. So like, yeah, I see his reasoning. Like, yeah, I kind of like this dude. But then at the end, when he's got, you know, Bruce Willis's wife, you're going, you're too far there, buddy. Like now you get to get shot in the head or thrown out a window or something. You know? But I think it's that, you know, those are kind of funnier, light, you know, examples. But I think like having that like really great tragedies, you like these characters, and to see them get ripped apart or torn apart or experience a horrific event or a tragedy, just that's what makes it a tragedy. It's tragic because you care about them. It's not tragic just for tragedy's sake. It's tragedy because you love these people, you know, and that's why I go back to Hamlet. You see Hamlet's perspective, you love Hamlet. You see Gertrude's perspective, you love Gertrude. Even Claudius, like you understand, like if you really understand the play and read it, you start to go, this is a guy who suffered from ambition and wanted, everything that, his brother had that he didn't. And, a great actor will make that choice and make that clear in the portrayal of Claudius instead of some like mustache twirling villain. You care about these people and care about what happens to them. You care about Gertrude. Gertrude loves Claudius, so you care about what happens to Claudius. So yeah, kind of the same.
Well,
so I don't know what the fuck I just said. I don't know. Went from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves to Hamlet. I'm just diarrhea of the mouth. I don't know why you guys have me on, but whatever.
We're going to wrap up.
Yeah.
We're in a different time zone, my friend. We have to go to work.
Yeah, starting my day. You guys are ending yours. Julia, but like you two, I know what this girl's doing. She's conquering the world right now. And maybe it's an offline conversation. Maybe we talk a little bit more. It sounds to me like you're writing something, correct? Mm-hmm. Or like trying to bang something out.
Trying to. Yeah.
So let's talk. Let's, you got Julia, you guys got my number.
Yeah.
Like hit me up if I can help out in any way. I'll tell you what, the technology that I've developed, I'll let you guys take a look at it and maybe that could help you. Yeah. And, and same goes for you, man. Like whatever you guys are working on, however I can help, however I can be of assistance, just let me know, and let's do it.
Yeah. Tell people where they can find you on social media and things and plug whatever you like to any upcoming projects.
I think Meatpaw with Joe Lynch, I'm really freaking excited about because it's just so batshit crazy. It's so nuts. It's the craziest thing I've ever written with a lot of heart and a lot of love. Under is the name of this project that I've written for Shia, and I think he'll get down on it. And if he doesn't get down on it, then it'll be a really good play. Then Hit, Kick, Punch, Kill. And I've been talking about that forever, but really ambitious films and big films take a long time to put together. But we got RZA. We're in active conversations with two really massive actors, and RZA's got a joint that he's directing this year. And once he's got that under his belt, then we're free and clear to go. I'm setting up things here in Thailand, and got two other projects that'll be announced soon. And then Riff Raff, Riff Raff's going right now. So, and then helping you guys out with whatever you need.
Hell yeah.
It's
much appreciated.
Get the iPhone, go out and shoot something. Go out and shoot something. I want to see something. You guys are way too talented. Like, and not just talented, but you're dedicated. I know you two.
Yeah.
And Julia, thinks really highly of you. Like, go shoot something. Go make something.
No, man, we need to do that
before a computer does it.
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty scary. It's pretty scary right now. It's pretty scary. But yeah,
getting ahead of the game.
Yeah, but hit me up, guys.
Yeah.
Me up.
Yeah, appreciate the time, man.
It's always a pleasure, my man.
Thank you for your time. I know it's valuable.
Yeah. Are you drinking C4?
Yeah, this podcast is sponsored by.
Can't say that.
Wait, but how much of a former junkie am I that I knew that was C4 with the can turned around with the ingredients facing me. That's how much. That's how much. I used to drink that just to like, right. I used to be so dependent upon, like, I'm not judging you right now, like the C4, whatever. But like, I'm talking like I had to have, caffeine, Adderall, like whatever at my disposal to be able to get stuff done. And now it's like, it's nothing. I just sit down and write. But that took some like relearning and rewiring. But I used to, I wasn't taking C4 to like work out. I was taking C4 to sit and think,
Yes.
No, I don't do any of that. None of that stuff.
It's basically what I'm doing. I get down and yap.
Get up and go for a run, brother.
I probably need to.
Yeah.
Probably need to. And then you're doing A&W root beer?
Yeah.
Oh, those are both yours?
Yes, they are.
Go with the C4.
That's amazing. All right, real quick before I go, what on all three of you, what is your favorite movie that you've seen this past year, and what is your favorite show? Julia, you go first.
We all know Ryan.
Ryan.
So I have to say, if I have to be honest, it is Flowers or Killer of the Flower Moon for sure for movie. It was really good.
Wow.
And
okay.
Favorite show? I watch a lot of reality TV, unfortunately.
Yeah, The Price is Right. This season, The Price is Right is very good.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's common.
I'm sorry, I really do. I don't watch a lot of TV shows. I did finish Better Call Saul this year, which I loved.
Nice.
Yeah.
So better Fall Killers of the Flower Moon. All right.
Yeah.
My movie, I don't know. I guess probably Killers of the Flower Moon. There's still a lot left in the year that I want to see that I'm sure is going to throw that.
Yeah.
So
what are you most excited about then?
Comes out next week. Poor Things. Yorgos Lanthimos.
Okay. Yeah.
I love that guy. His writing is so unique and it's so bleak.
Yeah.
And it's so like it's just dark comedy to the T. And I love it.
You'll love Riff Raff, dude. Riff Raff is a dark comedy.
Comedy. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Best show. I finished Succession.
Oh yeah, that's killer.
Succession. I try telling people all the time. It's one of the best shows that came out in recent memory.
Yeah.
I mean, the writing technique. It's definitely like Shakespeare almost.
But for sure, it's 100% Shakespeare.
It's and Brian Cox, he's great in it. Matthew Hayden. I could go on and on about that movie or that show. Excuse me. Another show is probably Fargo. Fargo went into its fifth season this year, and it started off pretty strong.
Fargo's good. I'm actually writing this down because I haven't watched that all the way.
Fargo, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been going strong. If you like Fargo the movie, you'd like the show for sure.
I'm gonna watch it. Let me see. Fargo. Let me see who's. Oh yeah, my buddy was on that. Graham Littlefield. Oh, hi Graham. All right, your turn. Shoot, movie and show.
Just to be different, I'm going to say my favorite movie is Godland. It's the it's a Dutch film. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's very expressionistic, very well acted. So it's really great.
Godlands. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I'm gonna see it. Godlands.
Yeah, it's the Dutch submission to the Oscars this year. So it's pretty
Sweet.
Yeah, it's really good. Just check it out. And I'm sure these guys will tell you I don't watch a lot of TV shows. So,
No.
but one I have seen is the new season of Invincible, and that was really good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. So I haven't been able to watch a lot of movies, but the show that I watched all the way was The Morning Show, which I loved. Just for Billy Crudup. I think Billy Crudup is so good.
Yeah, he is a great actor.
I think he's just absolutely phenomenal, and love him. He's there's, especially when you get to the end of the whole show, there's a scene that he has that's like, man, it's painful and really a beautiful scene. There's an actor. If I could work with somebody, Billy Crudup. I would love to work with Billy Crudup. I just think he's at the top of his game. And I also think he's misunderstood as an actor. I think people see him and they think he's doing one thing and he's not. Like, he's a guy where you look at the eyes and you see, you know, all the ammunition that dude has come prepared with. And it's just, he's awesome. He's incredible. I think he's one of my favorite people out there. Alex Wolff.
Him and was it the Stanford Prison Experiments?
Yes,
Probably my favorite.
incredible.
Because if nobody knows about the Stanford Prison Experiments, check it out.
Yeah, awesome.
True
It's really
story.
good. Yeah. Well, guys, much love.
Adam, much love back. We appreciate it.
Yeah, hit me up after. Let's talk, and yeah, we'll talk later this week.
We'll do.
Awesome, man.
Talk to you soon.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye.
Peace out.
Um,
All right, motherfuckers.
Motherfuckers. You fucking listen up, okay? Fucking little bitches. What do you got to say?
This concludes the very special episode of Cinephile Rehab Podcast
Yeah.
with a very special guest, Adam Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Check out his shit. He mentioned it a bunch of times.
Go look him up, for God's sakes.
We'll put it all up on the screen for you here.
It's
So
up here on the screen right fucking now.
There's a lot of profanity in this ending.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
don't draw attention to it.
Yeah, come on now.
Anyway, like, subscribe, do all that bullshit.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week or next other week as we post two.
Bi-weekly, right?
Shut
fucked that
up.
up.
Shut it the bi-weekly.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.